It's got speed, it's got power, unmatched versatility, cool hunter arts, and so much more. If any weapon was to be called OP in Monster Hunter Generations, this would be it. Welcome to my tutorial on the Sword and Shield.
Hey guys, this is Gaijin Hunter. What follows is my weapon tutorial from Monster Hunter Generations, and if you already know everything from it and you just want to jump to what are the changes in Generations Ultimate, about the new art, Alchemy Style, and Valor Style, jump to the timestamp in the description down below. If you're new to Generations or you want to have a refresher, please sit back and enjoy the entire video.
Now, one thing I don't talk about a lot is that while you can do an equal amount of damage in the same period of time as a slower and more powerful weapon, there's a reason why weapons like the Sword and Shield and Dual Blades are really good, and that is elemental damage. While the defense of the part that you hit does matter, whether or not you used a big attack or small attack doesn't. So fast and numerous hits means that you'll rack up elemental damage that much faster. When used properly, this allows you to easily match and even exceed the damage output of the larger weapons. Okay, before we jump into guild style, there are three core concepts to the Sword and Shield that we need to cover. Item usage. The first is item usage. The Sword and Shield is the only weapon in the game that allows you to use items while your weapon is drawn. Simply hold R and press Y to use the currently selected item. This means that you can get to potions faster as well as aggressive items such as flashbangs and traps, and you'd be surprised, this is a huge feature of the weapon. Oils. Completely new to Monster Hunter Generations is a new set of items called oils, and these are absolutely bonkers. There are 4 types of oils that the Sword and Shield can take into hunts that you can buy using resource points, which are very plentiful in this game. Once applied, the effect lasts for 2 minutes, or 3 minutes if you're using the more obscure armor skill called Item Effect Up. Affinity oil is awesome. It gives you plus 30% critical rate, which is the same as the armor skill Critical Eye plus 3. Not only does this let you do more damage, but it could also be used to help you overcome the negative affinity on a weapon you may have without having to design your entire armor set to do so. Impact oil makes it so that damage you do toward breaking parts gets a 20% bonus, the same as the armor skill called Part Breaker. Now, while this doesn't affect the damage you do to the overall health of the monster, it does allow you to break parts faster, which often reveal weak points on monsters. Now, exhaust oil is where all the rage is. What it does is add 10 exhaust damage to all of your attacks, and if you hit the head of a monster, it adds 8 damage of KO. This is even stronger than the armor skill called Punish Draw, as that skill requires the attacks to all be draw attacks, while this oil affects everything. Exhausting monsters leads to a lot more opportunities to do a lot of damage, and the KO combined with one of the cool new hunting arts means that the Sword and Shield can actually knock out monsters, which is nuts. Finally, the Mind's Eye oil makes it so that all of your attacks will not bounce off no matter how hard of the part you attack. This is the same as the armor skill called Mind's Eye. This means that you can sport a weapon with green sharpness and high raw at the end of the game, and you can craft armor sets without having to worry about getting this skill in there. Super Armor. Finally, the third concept I just want to briefly cover is a thing called Super Armor. In Monster Hunter, when an attack has super armor, it means that during that period you won't get knocked out of the animation by small attacks by monsters or your teammates, or by effects like small wind from a monster's wing flaps. The Sword and Shield has 3 attacks that get 3 full seconds of super armor, which we'll cover later. This means that you can combo without fear of being knocked out of it, and even more importantly, there are opportunities where you can use items and not get interrupted as well. Okay, now that we've covered those, let's jump right into guild style. Please note that I'll probably miss something small or not cover a combo in this video, so feel free to add any extra info in the comments below. Note that the Sword and Shield gets a 6% sharpness bonus to all of its attacks, but that is not included in the motion values that I will include. Okay, your draw attack is a nice charge-in attack. You can also press X and A at the same time to do this move. This move gives you a massive 3 seconds of super armor, so you can transition into a combo move or even use an item afterwards and not worried about being knocked out of it. However, if you evade after this move, the super armor will be negated. Press X after the charge and attack to do an upward slice. This is a pretty important move as it's part of the main bread and butter combo for the weapon. You can also do it by holding R and pressing X as well from idle. Okay, now let's look at the core combo for the weapon, which is a series of 3 moves using the X button. There are a few different ways to end the combo, but these 3 moves are the core, and you could do 1, 2, or all 3 of them. It's totally up to you. The first X button attack after the upward slice, or if you just want to do it from idle, is the downward slash. Press X once more to do a side slash. And the last move in the combo, if you want to use all 3, is a shield combo smack. This third move is almost always omitted in combos because it takes quite a while to do and it will knock around your teammates. Okay, now that we've seen the core in our combo, let's cover all the different ways of how to end it. One way is to press X plus A during the combo to end it with a spinning slash. You can actually press the special button on the touch screen to do this move from idle as well. So let's do a quick review now that we have at least one finisher. X plus A for the charge and attack, or R plus X as idle can be used to open the combo, or you can just press X to go straight into the first one of the 3 moves. From there you can do up to 2 different attacks with the X button, and then you can do a finisher. Here it is with just one X attack and then a finish. Here it is with 2 hits of that combo and the finisher. And here it is with a full combo and then finishing with the finisher. Okay, now from the X button combo, instead of pressing X and A to go into the spinning slash, you can also choose to go into the A button combo, so let's take a look at that. Press A to do a strong side slash. Press A once more to do a high reaching upward slash. Finally, from here you can press A one more time to do that spinning slash, and no need to press X plus A during this combo, which is nice. From idle you can press forward on the circle pad and press A to do a shield charging smack. Press A after that to do the shield smack. Now while the idle AAA combo is all about doing big damage, this 2-hit combo is all about exhausting monsters. And you'd be surprised what a difference that can mean in a hunt, so just do this every now and then and I think you'll see the benefit. Okay, because it's so important, let's do one more final review. There's a standard XXX combo, and at any time during it, we can either 1. Press X plus A to finish the combo with a round slash. 2. We can press A to start going into the A button combo. Or 3. We can press forward plus A to go into the shield combo. For this, we can start off the combo with X plus A and X if we'd like, or if we don't want to move, we can start it out with R plus X. The most popular combination of attacks is the 6-hit combo R and X, followed by X 3 times and A 3 times. Note that the last move is kind of optional. This keeps you in place and does a lot of hits, and it also avoids that 3rd hit of the X button combo, which again will knock around some teammates and take some time to do. The sword and shield can do more than just the X and A button combos though. At any time during a combo or after an attack, hold back on the circle pad and press A to do a back evade. This is an actual evade, so it has invincibility frames and it will get a bonus from evasion plus skills, and it does take some stamina to do. After you do the back evade, you can release the button input and you'll immediately do a charge and attack. This is the same move as the X plus A attack from idle, and you still get the super armor for 3 seconds. So this is a good way to sort of keep the combo going over and over again. Or if you release A but keep the circle pad input, you can cancel out and do an upward strike. Finally, and more importantly, you can hold A to do a charge attack. Now the first hit of this often misses, but if you're really close, it's technically a shield attack in the air that does 25 exhaust and 15 KO. Note that while it appears that there are 2 levels of charge, you only need to wait for the first one. All they're doing is giving you a nice window to time it out. From the charged attack, you can press X or A to go into the upward strike that allows you to go right into the bread and butter combo again. Last but not least, we have 3 jump attacks. The standard is just the downward slash. Press X and A to do the charge and attack and do it off a ledge, and it'll start off with a special jumping charge attack. And from there, if you're still in the air, you can press X to do a downward slash, turning this into a 2-hit aerial combo. You can also do the charge and slash up a ledge and you'll jump up and do an upward jump attack. For this one, you can actually do the move by pressing A right after you climb up a ledge as well, so you don't actually need to do the charge and attack. In the air, you can also follow up with the downward slash. Finally, you can hold R to guard. Now this is not a strong guard, so only use it in cases of emergency. From a guard, you can press Y to use the item that you have currently selected, or X to do a weaker guard slash. Phew, so that's that. I know it sounds complicated, but once you get the hang of it, it's not. Okay, now that we've covered the guild style, which is the majority of everything, let's take a look at the other styles. Striker. For Striker style, you'll lose the back evade during a combo, but that's all. You still have all the other moves, your bread and butter combo, so unless you're used to using the back evade, it's definitely better to be using Striker and get all 3 hunting arts. Aerial. For aerial style, you'll lose your A button combo, and the A idle becomes the shield combo. This means that your bread and butter combo of XXAAA is gone, so utilizing backsteps and aerial jumps is going to be key. For the aerial jump, the vault itself is an attack, just like the switch axe. This is the same attack you do if you actually jump up a ledge. In the air, you can press X to do the standard jump attack. What makes this jump attack unique is that you can press XX after you land and sort of do combos off of it. One combo you might want to try to utilize is X plus A to do the charge and attack, XXX, jump, and then XX. The true strength of the aerial style for Sword and Shield comes from the ability to mount easily, especially given that the vault itself is an attack. Pair this with exhaust oil and you can easily go for KOs from monsters after you mount them, making this style kind of effective. Still though, without your bread and butter combo, it's safe to say that for status and elemental weapons, this is probably the weakest of all the styles. Adept. Adept style for Sword and Shield adds yet even more versatility to the weapon. The cons that you do have is that you lose the A attacks just like aerial style, but there are some ways to get them back in after Adept evades, and although you can do a backstep, you do lose the ability to do a charged hit. After an Adept evade, press X to do an upward jump attack. After this, you can press A to go into the shield combo, or you can press X twice to do that normal A button attack from guild style that was stripped out. Or from an Adept evade, instead of pressing X to do the upward attack, you can press X plus A to do a forward leaping attack. This allows you to close distances really well, and you can also press X to go into the normal A button attack combo. The Sword and Shield Adept style has a very tricky special evade. If you can do the back step before you get hit, you'll do a super run-in slash. This attack is super powerful. It's incredibly hard to use though, and this will take a lot of time to master. Hunting arts. Not only did the Sword and Shield get the oils, which are really powerful, have great variation in their styles, but it also has 3 amazing hunting arts. Please note that the motion values shown are for the final level 3 versions. First one up is Round Force. This art charges stupidly fast for every level. You'll do a giant round attack. During this attack, you're completely invincible, so you can use this as an aggressive way to evade attacks and keep your onslaught going. Note that for level 3, it does have a side effect of sending your teammates flying high into the air, which you may not want to do, so you can use level 2 optionally if you're playing online. Blade Dance. Blade Dance is just a long and very powerful combo, which is something that the Sword and Shield really needed. At level 1 it does 5 hits, level 2 7, at level 3 it does 8 hits. The last hit for all the levels is the most powerful, so you're going to definitely want to time this one out. Now Capcom has channeled their inner Street Fighter to bring us a dream move. After you do a run-in, you'll do a sword attack as you jump up in the air with your shield, just like Ryu from Street Fighter does his Shoryuken. And at level 3 you'll also do a final downward hit. The stun value of the shield hits in this move are insanely high, so you could definitely use this to KO monsters. At level 1 the upward hit does 70 exhaust and 75 stun. At level 2 you do 2 upward attacks, the first being 50 exhaust and 100 stun, and the second being 40 exhaust and 50 stun. And at level 3, the downward attack also does yet an additional 40 exhaust and 50 stun. This move is insane. And now for some final thoughts. The Sword and Shield is borderline OP in Monster Hunter Generations, and it's a total blast to use. Now the backstep is a lot more powerful than I think a lot of people realize, and if you can utilize it well, then Guild Style is a fine choice. But for everybody else, Striker is where it's at, especially considering how good the arts are. In Japan, most players here use Striker Sword and Shield, it's just that good. Aerial Style, I admit, is a little bit lackluster. The power is a little weak for the attacks and you don't do a lot of hits, but for online support focused players, I think being able to get in mounts certainly has value, so for online I could see it being fun, but for solo I really don't see it being that viable. Adept Style is really good, but it does take some getting used to, and most of the Sword and Shield players out there are pretty good about moving around monsters and not having to evade through stuff, so I would say Striker definitely beats it out when you consider the fact that you only get one art in Adept Style, but it's still very powerful and fun to use. Overall, the Sword and Shield is an amazing weapon, and I can't believe the buffs that they've given it this time. The oils give you massive skills at your disposal, greatly increasing the versatility of the weapon and the armor sets that you can do. The Sword and Shield is an absolute beast in the hands of a pro hunter, so don't think that this is a beginner weapon that can be strong. This is pro grade.
Changes. None. Really, they didn't change anything from what they had in Generations, which is great. Alchemy Style. This is actually a pretty compelling style for Sword and Shield, especially online if you're playing support. You'll have access to 3 hunter arts and you can set one or more of them as SP arts as well. For your moveset, your Shield Bash is gone and replaced with the Spin Attack at the end of every combo, making it easier to use and not having to worry about knocking your teammates into the air. You also completely use the back swing from your combos as well as the ability to do the back step. What this essentially does is just makes your combos easier to use, so I do think it's pretty beginner friendly. Because it's Sword and Shield, you can use the barrel outside of combos even when your weapon is out, and because those round slashes charges up the alchemy gauge more than any other move, it's not that hard to charge up the alchemy gauge, and there's some pretty nice items in there, especially if you're in for a long hunt against multiple monsters. How well you do in this style depends on how well you are able to utilize the barrel. Valor Style. This is a really tricky one, and how you take advantage of the ability to sheath and suck up big attacks and stay aggressive will be key. As with all the other Blade Master weapons, if you get hit while holding Y, you'll automatically put your weapon away and you'll only take 30% damage as red damage on your gauge. Outside of Valor mode, you'll lose quite a bit. You'll lose the back step, the charge hit because of that, and even the round slash as well, and you can't even do an upward slash from an evade, which if you're used to doing that, you might find that a little bit tricky. For cancel attacks, you can hold Y and press X to do a power jump. This is kind of like that jump back, charge, and jump attack all in one. It's actually really powerful as well, with 20 motion, and 14 motion for your hits. Or you can hold Y and press the A button to do a spin slash, which I find charges the gauge pretty good. Once you are inside Valor mode, you'll unlock a new move by pressing X and A inside of a combo. This is a backstep combo, but you can do it forward, sideways, any direction you want, so it's not really a backstep. It also has iframes so you can use it to avoid attacks. After the backstep combo move, you have several different things you can do. You can run in any direction you want automatically by just inputting on the analog stick. Then you can press the A button if you want to do the true slash, the X to go back into your standard combo, or X and A to do a jump attack. Now this jump attack is far weaker than the Valor cancel version, and while the true slash is called something that sounds really strong, it's only 14 and 18 motion value, so it's really not that strong. The power of this style is having 2 ways of avoiding large attacks in the middle of your combos. You can hold Y to do the sheath cancel, or you can press X and A to do the backflip if you're in Valor mode. It's your choice. Honestly, getting into Valor really fast is not much of a priority for this style. It's just going to add an extra bonus of a way that you can avoid large attacks other than just holding Y. New art, Chaos Oil. This is the game changer. It applies all 4 Sword and Shield oils on your blade at once. That is 30% affinity, 15% part breaker bonus, 7 stun and 8 exhaust to all your attacks, and Mind's Eye. At level 2, the power of the oils is half, but you can use additional oils after you do the art to sort of top one of them off. But at level 3, the Chaos Oil gives you full effect, but get ready to pull your hair out because this is locked behind arguably the hardest quest in the entire game, which is the G rank Hyper Silver Rathalos and Hyper Golden Rathian together in the same quest. Level 1 lasts for 135 seconds, 2 for 180 seconds, and level 3 lasts for 120 seconds. For fun, you can stack oils on top of it, but of course only the last one you use is active, so if you use an affinity oil, you'll get a plus 60% affinity boost. And the one that a lot of people don't seem to know is that after you have the Mind's Eye oil applied, if you use that same oil, it actually is just a very quick way to sharpen your weapon. So you'll see a lot of speedrunners do Chaos Oil, do a Mind's Eye to quick sharpen, and then put the affinity oil, and then start attacking again. Overall, my opinion doesn't really change from generations. I think Striker Style is definitely going to be the most popular one because the arts are good, the combos are good, it's just all around awesome. I do think Alchemy Style is going to be very cool for support sets. Valor Style is interesting. I mean, if you know how to use it properly, you can do some pretty cool things. I think it's more popular against monsters that just have one really big attack, so the ability to just hold Y to avoid it, something like a Laggy's explosion of electricity. You just hold Y and boom, you can go right back to comboing. It's a pretty good match for those types of monsters. And Chaos Oil is awesome. Level 3 is going to be a very hard oil to unlock, but definitely make sure you try to go online and unlock that art because it is so good. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hit that like button if you did, subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, happy hunting.